Hey guys, it's Jess and you are watching Mum on Purpose. So I just wanted to share something with you guys. I just finished up at the Maggie Dent workshop, Raising Children Who Shine, and it was just incredible. So I wanted to share with you guys a little bit of my day with Maggie. It wasn't just with Maggie, there were other experts which came along on the day, and one of the experts was Dr. Vanessa Lapointe, and she was just incredible. She put discipline together for me in a way that I think we all know intuitively works, but have been programmed through our own childhood and all of the hype out there. We've been programmed to think of it a certain way, but intuitively we know what should be happening, and she just kind of put things together in a way for me to understand. And I'm just a bit of a nerd. I love when science proves things and makes sense of things for me, like, you know, things that you kind of already know, and then there's the science to back it. So I absolutely loved that, and she's just really easy to listen to. She was one of the reasons why I decided to come along to this seminar. Actually, I had absolute flip out a couple of weeks before Christmas, the start of the Christmas school holidays. Their kids were going nuts. Like, I'm not talking about just nuts, I'm talking next level. Like, if their heads could have done a 360 and rotated on each other, I swear to God, that would have happened. They just turned like that. And I didn't understand until Christmas had finished that they were actually just really excited about Christmas, and their emotions didn't know how to deal with that. So what ended up happening was they turned crazy. I panicked. I started YouTubing Maggie Dent, because only Maggie can save me in a moment like that. And then this seminar happened to come up, and then some videos were coming up from Dr. Vanessa Lapointe about in line with, because they were promoting this seminar that was coming up, and I just really resonated with her. And so she completely delivered. It was amazing. I loved it. And then we got to hear from Maggie, who did a little bit about her boys workshop. And I've got two boys of my own. One's 5 and one's 3. And they're both completely different. I feel like I've failed them completely, but that's fine, because I can do better now, right? But I've never heard any of Maggie's works about boys before. And it was incredible. I was laughing and crying. I think I cried the most during Maggie's section. I think because, again, so much of it we intuitively know, and it's just because of life and stuff that happens. We don't always act the way that we want to in the heat of the moment, and stuff that we should understand, and then we have our changed perceptions, and then we don't you think if your friend's being totally weird to you one day and totally shuts you out, and then you work out a couple of days later they were being weird because they thought that you spoke about them behind the back? You can justify their behavior when you know why it's occurring. And I feel like, in a way, that's kind of what Maggie's seminar did for me with this boys one, in that now I can understand why my boys act the way they do. And so it doesn't mean that the behavior is okay, but I can understand it. And that's the first step. It's a huge perception change for me. Then the next person we heard from was Dr. Christy Goodwin, and I'm terrified and impressed all at the same time. She really spoke about technology and screen time and what's going on with our kids these days, which I think is such an important conversation. Somebody needed to frontier this conversation with our children, and Dr. Christy Goodwin did this, and she did it in such a great way. Again, backed with science, again from the perception of a parent, explaining what we need to look out for, some things we can actually do, but keeping it real, and terrified the hell out of me at the same time, but in a good way. In that, we just cannot be ignorant about it. And my kids, they're not screen addicts, but it's certainly something that we're conscious of in our house. So it was really great to have some direction around that. So lastly, we finished up with Dr. Justin Colson, and he was so funny. He just had a really great way of speaking, but also it really tied in with everything that was being spoken about during the day. And it really, again, changed my perception about, I guess, the way that we think about the things that we're doing with our parenting. That's a really bad explanation about a really incredible section that he did. My biggest takeaway from Justin's section is really about understanding my reaction to our children, and understanding my reaction in the moments when they're having meltdowns, understanding my reaction in the moments when my kids don't want to go to sleep, understanding my reaction to when they're not having a good time, and understanding how my reaction affects their reaction. So not to say that they're not responsible, but we're the parent in this situation, and the tips that he gave I found really helped me. So overall, I thought this was an incredible day. If you ever have a chance to listen to any of these guys speak, and especially Maggie, I just cannot recommend it enough. Now I'm just completely obsessed with Maggie Dent. She's already been my savior. They also had this really great promotion about something brand new, which they're launching, which is called Parent TV, and it's really a support mechanism for parents who don't have the time to go into a book and find all of the nitty-gritty research, but they have a couple of minutes to watch a useful video that will actually help them and give them tools at the time. So I cannot wait to go home and check that out. It is going to be on a subscription basis, so it is something that you need to pay for. But do you know what? I think it's $10 a month. For $10 a month that I spend on Netflix, or $10 a month that I would spend on apps for my kids, or $10 a month that I would actually spend on chocolate trying to deal with my kids, or anything, that is well worth it. So that's really something. If you go to parenttv.com and check that out, then you'll be guided as to what to do and log in with and all those details then. But that's it from me. I wanted to keep it really short. I didn't want to go but it was just incredible. I wanted to share my day with you while it was still fresh, while I was still really excited. And I'm definitely not a parenting expert at the moment. No, I'm definitely not, but I feel like my anxiety about it has gone down a lot, which is really great. So it was definitely worth it, if anything, just for that. Anyway, I'll leave it there, and I'll speak to you guys next time. Bye.